Imagine a network that doesn't rely on fiber optics, but on fear. A startup where the board of directors sits in a maximum security prison and the HR department handles resignations with a bullet to the back of the head. Welcome to the TRND Aragua. This isn't just a street gang. It's a high-availability, cross-border infrastructure that has successfully refactored the map of South America. It is a decentralized criminal enterprise that operates more like a multinational tech corporation than a group of thugs. If you're a beginner entering this system, you're not a member. You're a new node in a high-latency network. You are a variable in an equation that only solves for one thing: the extraction of value from human suffering. Focus. Close your eyes and listen to the hum of the machine. Most people look at criminal organizations and see chaos. I look at them and see a legacy system that has been upgraded with modern efficiency. The TRND Aragua didn't start in the streets. It started in the Tucuran prison in Venezuela. Imagine a prison where the inmates built a zoo, a nightclub called Tokyo, a baseball field, and a swimming pool. This was the Casa Grande, the command and control center. From this centralized server, the prawns, the gang leaders launched an API of extortion, kidnapping, and human trafficking that scaled across 7 countries in less than a decade. They didn't need a formal headquarters in every city. They needed a protocol. Your life as a beginner in the TRN starts with the realization that the state is a ghost. In the ruins of the Venezuelan economy, the gang is the only functioning kernel. You're 18, you're hungry, and you're looking at the prawn like he's a CEO. But here is the cynical truth the recruiters won't tell you. You aren't the CEO. You aren't even an employee. You are a disposable asset. In the technical manual of the T, you are what they call a lucero, a soldier whose only job is to provide illumination for the bosses, while you yourself burn out in the process. You are the front interface for a very dark back. Now, let's deconstruct the logistics. Imagine you are at the border between Colombia and Ecuador. Your job is troca management. You are overseeing the illegal paths through the jungle. You aren't there to fight. You're there to collect data and fees. Every migrant passing through is a packet of data. Every woman being trafficked is a high-value asset. Every gram of product is a payload. Your day consists of checking subscriptions, what the TRN calls the vacuna, or the vaccine. It's an extortion model so precise it would make a Silicon Valley founder jealous. Businesses pay a monthly fee to keep existing. If the payment fails, the service team, which is you, arrives with a debugger, usually a 9mm or a grenade. You don't negotiate. You fix the error in the cash flow. The technical brilliance and the absolute cynicism of the TRN de Aragua is their migrant delivery vector. They realized that the massive exodus of millions of people was a perfect cover for horizontal scaling. As people fled the country, the TRN nodes moved with them. They didn't invade new territories with a full army. They used social engineering. They embedded themselves in migrant shelters, offering help that turned into debt. Once a person owes the TRN, they are part of the botnet. They become mules, they become lookouts, or they are forced into the sex trade. The TRN doesn't care about borders because Code and Fear doesn't need a passport. They are a cloud-based criminal organization. As a beginner, your onboarding is a series of tests designed to break your empathy. In the tech world, we call this hardening the system. In the TRN, it's about making you in. You are forced to participate in Vassalon, the gang's version of a party, which often ends in the systematic execution of a rival or a snitch. This is the moment you realize that your individual identity is being You are being refactored into a tool of the organization. If you hesitate, you are a bug. And the TRN has a very efficient garbage collection routine. They don't debug code, they delete people. The logistics of the TRN are surprisingly high. They use encrypted messaging apps to coordinate hits across different time zones. They use Bitcoin and USDT to move millions of dollars from an extortion racket in Lima to a bank account in Panama. And finally, back to the Casa Grande in Iraq, they have managed to bypass the legacy financial systems of multiple governments using the same tools that developers use to build decentralized apps. They are the full-stack criminals of the 21st century, exploiting the gaps between jurisdictions like a hacker exploits a buffer overflow. But let's look at the user interface of your life as a beginner. You live in a state of constant, high-frequency stress. You aren't sleeping. You're monitoring the logs. You're watching for the police, watching for the rival gangs, and watching your own teammates. In a system built on betrayal, the root access is always under attack. The guy next to you is your brother. He has a competing process for the same limited resources. The respect you were promised is just a temporary permission set that can be revoked at any moment. You are a low-privilege user in a system that executes everyone eventually. The cynicism of the situation is that the Tierra de Aragua is a mirror of the society that created it. When the traditional institutions fail, when the OS of the country crashes, the people do you and stop needing structure. They just move to an alternative, more brutal version. The TRN provides the only stability available, even if that stability is the peace of a graveyard. They are the default gateway for anyone trying to survive in the ruins. They aren't the cause of the collapse. They are the opportunistic malware that thrived because the firewall was down. The risk-reward ratio for a beginner is mathematically insane. You are risking 30 years in a foreign prison or a horrific death for a few $100s in the status of wearing a specific brand of sneakers. You are a high-risk, low-yield investment for the bosses. While they are drinking luxury liquor in mansions in Bogota or hidden villas in the jungle, you are the one getting caught in a search and destroy mission by special forces. Your kill switch has been flipped before you even reached the senior level. You are a disposable line of code in a billion-dollar script. If you find this fascinating, not because of the violence, but because of the way a system can scale so rapidly through the exploitation of human vulnerabilities, then you restarting to understand the dark side of system architecture. The world is just a series of overlapping networks, and the most dangerous ones are the ones that view you as a disposable data point. The Tierra de Aragua is a lesson in decentralized power. They proved that you don't need a country to have an empire. You just need a network that people are too afraid to leave. The Tierra de Aragua is still scaling. Even with the recent raids on their headquarters, the decentralized nodes are still active. They have moved to the cloud, operating from hidden locations across the continent. They are a reminder that in the digital age, a prison is just a physical location, but an organization is a protocol. And protocols are very hard to kill. They are the ransomware of the physical world, and they have already infected the entire continent. The life of a beginner in this world is a countdown. You are either moving toward a prison cell, a grave, or a brief moment of power that will cost you everything you once were. There is no retirement plan. There is no equity. There is only the next task, the next vaccine to collect, and the constant fear that the system is about to perform a system reset on your life. It is a hypnotic, terrifying cycle that feeds on the desperation of the borrowed class. Stay cynical about the promises of easy money and respect. Stay curious about the systems of control that hide in plain sight. And most importantly, stay sharp. The maze is only as strong as your belief in it. Once you see the code once, you understand that the prawn is just another prisoner of the same system. The glass dome doesn't look so unbreakable anymore. But for most, by the time they see the exit, the door has already been welded shut. Thanks for watching this dissection of the TRND. The great human lab is always looking for its next node. Don't let it be you. The truth is in the infrastructure, and the infrastructure is built on blood and bits. Stay cynical. Stay free. Stay coding. I'll see you in the next deep dive into the systems that run our world. Stay sharp. Stay technical. The machine is always watching, and the logs never lie.